China Currents is a weekly news talk show from China to the world. We cover viral news about China every week and also give you the newest updates on China's cutting-edge technologies. Let's get started. Welcome to China Currents, your weekly news report on the latest developments in China. I'm Chris, and in this episode, China's bold plan to make the whole world wealthier, and China's military drill to make the US calm down, China's new technology to kill cancers. First, let's understand Beijing's 2025 ambition. On March 5th, China released its 2025 government work report, proposing an ambitious economic target, achieving GDP growth of around 5%. At first glance, the 5% figure might not seem particularly striking. However, for China, whose total economic output reached over $18.8 trillion in 2024, the 5% increase goal means to make $940 billion, equivalent to an entire Saudi Arabia, a nation renowned for its wealth and extravagance. Its 2024 GDP stood at approximately $1 trillion. To grasp just how bold China's 5% target is, one need only look at the projections from Western policymakers. The World Bank estimates global GDP growth in 2025 will average just 2.7%. The US Congressional Budget Office forecasts a 2025 GDP growth rate of about 1.8% for America. The Organization for Economic Cooperation Development predicts the UK's growth this year at a mere 1.7%. While Germany's Industrial Association anticipates a 0.1% contraction for the German economy in 2024, marking its third consecutive year of decline. In contrast, 2025 will be China's third year maintaining around 5% GDP growth. The government work report for both 2023 and 2024 explicitly set a target of around 5% growth in gross domestic product, with actual growth rate of 5.2% and 5% achieved in those years, respectively. So, amid World Bank's prediction of global economic gloom in 2025, why is China so confident? Two other figures from work report revealed the solid foundations of this audacity. First, China's high-tech manufacturing sector expanded by 8.9% over the past year. High-tech manufacturing encompasses industries such as electric vehicles, smartphones, aerospace, and computer hardware. Growth in these sectors generates substantial trade surpluses. In the 1960s, the US sustained GDP growth above 4% for years by leading the third industrial revolution. Today, China is driving economic growth through a new technological revolution. For instance, in 2024, China produced 13 million EVs. According to The Guardian, Chinese EVs now account for 76% of the global market. Japanese media Nikkei reported that China's trade surplus hit a historic high of around $1 trillion in 2024, up 21% from 2023, with automotive exports rising 16% as a key growth driver. Notably, while EVs have become a pillar of China's industrial strategy, the country has refrained from using technology embargoes for unfair competition. According to China Automotive Daily, China exported 3.6 billion lithium battery units in 2024, a 7.3% year-on-year increase. Lithium batteries, the core component of EV power systems, determine critical metrics such as range, output, safety, and lifespan. The success of Chinese EVs stems largely from advanced battery technology. Yet China has not restricted battery exports, unlike the US chip export controls. In fact, CATL, China's leading battery manufacturer, has built two battery plants in Germany and Hungary, and building one in Spain too. In October 2024, Volkswagen announced plans to shut down at least 3 factories and lay off tens of thousands of workers. CATL's investments have become vital for the EU workers. Second, China's per capita disposable income grew by 5.1% in real terms in 2024. This figure, nearly matching GDP growth, indicates that the vast majority of Chinese citizens are sharing in the nation's wealth accumulation. China is not only growing richer, but also narrowing its wealth gap, ensuring that high-tech products meet genuine demand, thereby sustaining market vitality. The beneficiaries of this common prosperity extend beyond Chinese companies. Take Tesla. Despite a decline in global sales in 2024 and a drop in its Chinese market share from 7.8% in 2023 to 6%, Tesla's sales in China hit a record of 657,000 vehicles, generating a $20.9 billion in revenue. In China, the absolute growth in market demand enables Tesla to offset its relative competitive decline. Beyond EVs, advancements in Chinese AI technologies such as DeepSeek and Manus have bolstered global investor confidence. Jeff Winnegar, WisdomTree's head of equity strategy, coined the term Terrific 10 to describe China's 10 high-tech leaders, mirroring the US's Magnificent Seven. This concept has become an investment benchmark, as the Magnificent Seven once symbolized guaranteed returns in US markets. However, Chinese strategist Professor Wang Xiangsui points out that China's high-tech industries fundamentally differ from America's Magnificent Seven. US tech giants heavily rely on hyping AI bubbles and monopolizing computing power to attract investment, while companies like Nvidia and OpenAI once led in software and hardware. The closed-source strategies and exclusionary small-yard high-fence competition have prevented cutting-edge AI from integrating with real-world applications, making GPT-4, once the most advanced AI in the world, can only be used as a whip to intimidate workers. In contrast, DeepSeek's open-source model democratizes AI, transforming it into a productivity tool that benefits all humanity. The results speak for themselves. OpenAI reported a $5 billion loss in 2024, while DeepSeek announced a staggering 545% profit margin. This may seem counterintuitive, but across sectors, from NEVs to AI to photovoltaics, China's high-tech industries prioritize accessibility over premium pricing and ever try to maintain dominance through tariff and discrimination policies. Rooted in the Eastern wisdom of the highest good is like water, the Chinese understand the only way to ensure a single drop of water never dries up is when it merges into the sea. Thus, when China sets a 5% growth target, Beijing aims not to shame Western nations nor exclude competitors for its vibrant market. As the world's largest exporter of industrial goods, China seeks not only to improve the lives of its citizens, but also to propel the world towards shared prosperity. Next up, let's see how China shares security with its neighbors. From March 9th to 13th, the Chinese, Iranian, and Russian navies conducted a joint military exercise, Security Belt 2025. This marks the fifth such maritime drills between the three nations since it began in 2019. This exercise took place near Iran's Chabahar port, focusing on maritime target strikes, inspection and seizure operations, damage control, and joint search and rescue missions. Additionally, countries such as South Africa, Pakistan, and Oman will also send observers to participate in this exercise. Why drill now? On March 7th, the Tehran Times reported that Trump threatened possible military action against Iran. Last month, the US announced a fresh round of sanctions against Tehran, aiming to drive Iran's export of oil to zero. Apparently, the severity of this threat is now being reduced to 0%. The US seems to have forgotten its failures in the Red Sea. Over the last year, US drones and aircraft carriers have repeatedly come under attack by the Houthis, whose missile technologies that Washington insists are provided by Iran. In December last year, the Houthis struck a US Nimitz-class aircraft carrier and its escorting destroyer using just 8 cruise missiles and 17 drones. With the US military struggling abroad and China, Russia, and Iran tightening their military cooperation, Trump might want to rethink his art of the deal. Moving on, China brings hope to the world's cancer patients. On March 4th, the China Academy of Sciences announced a breakthrough in cancer therapy. Using synthetic biology, they trained a synthetic bacterium capable of precisely targeting and destroying tumors and effectively alleviating the side effects. Traditional treatments like chemotherapy, while effective in killing cancer cells, often causes significant harm to the human body. This is because chemotherapy drugs act throughout the entire body, attacking not only cancerous cells but also healthy cells, leading to various side effects. Moreover, long-term use may lead to drug resistance. However, the synthetic bacteria can proliferate extensively within tumor tissues while being rapidly eliminated in normal tissues. These bacteria activate immune cells in the body, which in turn attack and destroy cancer cells. This mechanism enables synthetic bacteria to combat tumors effectively without relying on traditional chemotherapy drugs. Actually, these cancer killers were naturally occurring bacteria. In fact, in last century, scientists discovered that certain bacteria could inhibit cancer cells. However, due to technological limitations at the time, their safety and efficacy could not be guaranteed. However, this latest Chinese study not only validates past hypotheses, but also enhances bacterial targeting and safety. As research advances, bacterial therapy is expected to emerge as a safer alternative to current cancer treatments. Experts believe that these breakthroughs from China could provide cancer patients with a safer and more effective treatment option, especially for melanoma, colorectal cancer, and bladder cancer. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this episode of China Currents. If you have any thoughts or comments, please reach us at email address below. See you next time.